Alright, recording. So hi you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm back with a new reaction video. Hope that all of you are good today. So you guys requested me to check out a video called The NBA Has a Big Bully Problem. So yeah, I'm not gonna ramble. Let's get straight into this video. Alright, let's see what they're talking about. Big bully problem.
Throughout the history of the NBA, there have been countless great big men. Wilt, Russell, Kareem, Moses, Shaq, Hakeem, Duncan, Dirk, KG, and for years the NBA was a league centered around the big man. In fact, 34 of the first 50 NBA MVPs were awarded to big men. But about 15 years ago, things began to change. The NBA began to shift to a more guard-heavy league, teams began to construct their rosters around shooters and perimeter players, and the once sacred big man began to slip further and further into irrelevance. For over a decade, not a single power forward or center was selected as the league MVP. Big men were used almost exclusively as a distraction on pick and rolls. Things were looking bleak, and long gone were the days of menacing, game-changing seven-footers. But all of that is about to change.
But how are they going to find an answer for this man right here? Oh my.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Drills it for the win.
So I think that's a good thing that they don't send around the big guy. But
Holy cow!
the big guy can do more things.
Is cleared for takeoff.
Seemingly out of nowhere, in a league full of three-pointers, positionless basketball, and the most skilled guard play we've ever seen, dominant big men have made a violent return to the NBA.
Oh, that's the
big
Joel
man
Embiid.
is
He
back,
went crazy the
and
other
it
day.
might just be better than ever.
Français.
Today's video is sponsored by Keeps.
Yeah.
Keeps is a
We're not doing that. Skip over this. Jeez, that's a long ad. Oh my god.
In 1962, Wilt Chamberlain set the gold standard for NBA big men, and really NBA players in general. In a season-long, record-breaking barrage, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 50 points and 26 rebounds a game. Numbers that still don't make any sense. His player efficiency rating that season was 32.1. For decades, this record-high PER would go unmatched. And other than a few historic seasons, no one even came close to matching this. Here's a chart of the highest single-season PERs from big men in NBA history. This is literally every great season from every great big man in NBA history. Here's Kareem's historic 1972 season, Bill Walton's MVP season, Charles Barkley's MVP season, Shaq's incredible 2000 season, the best season of Tim Duncan's career. They're all here. And here's Wilt's 1962 record-breaking season that earned him a PER of 32.1. Now, here's Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid's PERs from this season. Three of the most efficient and productive seasons of any NBA bigs in NBA history, all in the same season. We are talking about a magnitude equal to that of Wilt Chamberlain's prime seasons by three separate big men.
I got goosebumps in my legs.
Not only is this level of dominance from three players absolutely unprecedented, it's statistically unbelievable. Countless greats over countless seasons, and these three young stars have topped all of them simultaneously. The 2022 MVP race has been quite possibly the most wide-open race of any in recent history. From DeMar DeRozan to Stephen Curry to Kevin Durant to Ja Morant, about a dozen players have gotten considerable talks for the MVP award this season. But by the time it was all said and done, three players were clearly ahead of everyone else: Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid.
And just see
now,
Embiid the other day.
That all three of these
50-something points, 7 blocks.
Players are towering big men? Maybe. But there's a distinct gap between them and everyone else for a very good reason. In fact, outside of Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid, here's the list of players to average at least 27 points per game, 11.5 rebounds per game, and 4 assists for a season in modern NBA history. That's it. That's the whole list. Literally nobody. And yet, somehow, Jokic, Giannis, and Embiid all had averages above this stat line this season. We are talking about production from big men that we've never seen in the modern NBA. But it gets even crazier, because since 1976, there have only been 2 players that have averaged more than 30 points and 11 rebounds a game for a single season. Moses Malone in 1982 and Shaquille O'Neal in 2000. And both of them won the MVP in those seasons. It's a stat line that's so difficult to achieve that it's virtually a surefire way to be named the league's most valuable player. And yet both Giannis and Embiid averaged more than 30 points and 11 rebounds a game this season, and neither of them are likely to win the MVP award. These guys are putting up prime Shaq numbers, and because of how stacked the league is at the moment, both of them will come up short of the MVP. And it's not like these guys are putting up great numbers on bad teams. Both the Bucks and 76ers won more than 50 games this season and earned top seeds in the East. Giannis continues to put up insane numbers as the most dominant two-way player in the league. Joel Embiid became the first center in 22 years to win a scoring title. With an offensive game so refined, you'd think Hakeem Olajuwon was his biological father. Nikola Jokic pretty much broke advanced metrics this season on his way to becoming the first player in NBA history with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists in a single season. Now, if y'all can recall, it wasn't long ago that the best big men in the entire league were second class to the best perimeter players in the league. Within the last decade, players like David Lee, Tyson Chandler, Andrew Bynum, DeAndre Jordan, and Al Jefferson were making All-NBA teams. I mean, don't get me wrong, those guys were all good players at their peak. But fast forward to today's NBA, and you have to be damn near an MVP caliber player just to make an All-NBA team as a big man. To find dominance from big men like we saw this season, we have to turn the clocks all the way back to the 90s, back when the NBA was controlled by bruising 7-footers. David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal, Karl Malone, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley. Now how's that for a league that is stacked with all-time big talents? And these weren't just the best big men in the NBA 27 years ago. This was the MVP leaderboard for the 1995 NBA season. And just look at their numbers. This is absurd. Nearly all of them are averaging a 25-point double-double. It isn't until the 7th spot on the MVP leaderboard that we'll find a non-big man. And the first guard that comes up is John Stockton, who came in 8th in MVP voting that season. Can you even imagine if the best guard in the entire NBA was regarded as the 8th most impactful player in the league? Well, that was the NBA nearly 3 decades ago. And although the quantity of dominant big men isn't quite as deep as it was in the 90s, the quality certainly is. Nikola Jokic has quickly become the best playmaking big man of all time. His basketball IQ, his vision, his ability to manipulate the defense on all 3 levels makes him the ultimate threat at all times. There's truly never been a player like the Joker, and his one-of-one skill set has single-handedly carried his team to the playoffs and has made him the league's most valuable player. Giannis has been so dominant for so long now that when he drops 40 and 15 while being the best defensive player on the court, it isn't some sort of headline. And if his freakish length and athleticism didn't make him impossible to guard, he's now added a mid-post game to his arsenal that makes any defender look absolutely helpless. We are talking about a player with the imposing physicality of a prime Shaquille O'Neal that can also bring the ball up the court and Euro-step his way to an easy bucket. This shouldn't even be a thing. But Giannis Antetokounmpo made it one. And Joel Embiid has mastered his offensive game to the point where he doesn't have a single weakness offensively. Shots that were once reserved for the league's best shooters are now well within the bag of a 7'2", 300-pound behemoth. Players this big usually have trouble just getting up and down the court. Meanwhile, Embiid has the defense doing gymnastics as he expertly crafts his way to 30 points a night. All 3 of these big men, each with their very own unique games, none similar to the others, and yet all of them identically as forcefully dominant. And to demonstrate just how historic this season was for these 3 players, I'll leave y'all with this. The 45 Club, a club exclusive to only the most productive players in NBA history. Combine a player's points per game, rebounds per game, and assists per game for any given season, and if that total exceeds 45, they were playing in all-time historic territory. Now, throughout the history of the modern NBA, this has happened just 23 times. It was first accomplished by Moses Malone in 1982, followed by some of the greatest seasons by some of the greatest players in NBA history. Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, Shaq, LeBron, Kobe. Westbrook had a ridiculous total of 52.7 in 2017. And most recently, Nikola Jokic joined the 45 club just last season. This list of players and their best seasons is peak NBA on full display. But if we remove all the players who aren't big men, we are left with just 4 players across 6 seasons who accomplished this feat. 5 of those 6 seasons earned these players MVP honors. This season, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Joel Embiid all joined the 45 club. And yet, only one of them will go home as the league's most valuable player. The big man is back, and it may just be better than ever. Hope you all enjoy.
Yeah, it's
and as
definitely
always, until next
a different kind of bigger man. Can you say that? Interesting though. Very interesting. I just cannot let Embiid's performance the other day get out of my head. That's crazy. But yeah, not like I totally misunderstood that big bully. I thought we were gonna talk about some bullying here. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I feel like a noob. But yeah, interesting. Comment down below your opinion about this. This that the big man is back. I would say, even though I didn't live during the time of Chamberlain and stuff like that, and obviously the league looked totally different, but it getting more advanced, I would say. Even tougher, like when I say tougher, people say, you know, with them, that, you know, you're getting fouls for every little thing. I've seen that people have said and stuff like that, but the players, you know, everyone got their own chef. Like, it's so advanced. They got all these tools now and stuff like that to master their skills to a whole other level. So with that, it's definitely gonna be even more just different with the big man. I'm gonna stop talking. What do I know? But share your opinion if you have one. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. And yeah, maybe I'll see you guys in another video. Appreciate you watching. Bye.